Well, hello everyone, Dylan here with another LEGO Star Wars Summer 2025 review, and this one's on the V-19 Torrent Starfighter that was recently released. So on the front of the box here, have the LEGO Star Wars logos and the uh, yellowish border with the 332nd Trooper depicting Clone Wars, of course. And well, this same kind that we've been seeing since 2022, and all three minifigs include picture of the set in action above some desert planet, probably Geonosis or something, and then recommended ages is 9 and up. Set number 754 has 567 pieces. And then backside of the box, have a picture of the V-19 in a hangar bay and a little battle of the minifigs going on, and both of the features of the set, logos again, and there. And onto the manual, which little odd rendering that has been going on for quite some time, and then the transition from plastic bags to paper bags, and ad for the Builder app. On the backside, how to win on the online survey, and then advertisement for all of the summer 2025 sets, of course, which I am in the process of reviewing all of, and then all the pieces that come with the set, of course. And then the last building steps. So onto the 3 minifigs included. Hang on. So first of which have the clone pilot, or well, phase 1 clone pilot, like we had with the original 2008 version, but whereas in the minifig selection, the original version was just the clone pilot, but luckily there's 2 other figs alongside this, so obviously great to have some change in extra stuff included, of course. Which I see the torso print, leg printing, all looking quite good for how it is, and however the helmet piece of which, obviously similar to that of all other Phase 1 clone troopers, and also unlike the previous clone pilots of which, not at all have the fin part front like the Phase 1 clones did, but of course this is an all new specific helmet piece for that, so I say of which great to see some new piece for that, and also being more accurate to how it is in the Clone Wars, of course. So, and hopefully we can see this on other clone pilots in the future, but yeah. And then face print underneath the which is the kind of usual clone face, same kind that we've been seeing since 2020. And then in the middle part, and now on to next minifig, new updated version Asajj Ventress, which first time we've had since 2015, but original Clone Wars wise, first time since 2011 there. Which as you see the torso print, leg printing is all just great for how it is, and face printing just about also quite close to like the original versions did. But this was new updated Clone Wars look of it, but now without the weird Clone Wars look kind of styling that there has been since 2008 through 14. But also with regular eye factors. Like unlike how the 2003 Clone Wars one also did have first was the only time that had regular eyes, but this Switch traditional Clone Wars one that has regular eyes for that. So at least great to see some of that going on here, and of course wielding 2 red lightsabers, but also with these unique curved hilts like the earlier minifigs of her kind of did. So nice to see that return. Yeah. And then lastly is new updated version Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, which obviously, so all the torso print, leg printing, all just great for how it is, and face printing also kind of well close to that of the earlier ones, and wielding the blue lightsaber. And also, one big highlight of him from the previous versions is side arm printing, of which, like one with the Republic symbol on there. Some unique kind as well. So obviously, which
Major update from the original version, but great to see that go on here. But yeah.
then on the back sides of each of them is only one with a good double-sided face for that, and Asajj Ventress's back head printing, also like the earlier version. So glad to see that return. But yeah. And that was it there. Now on to the V-19 Torrent itself, which, as you can see, kind of major update from the 2008 version, but also kind of downsized a bit, which we have been seeing since 2020 and 2021. Or yeah, just since 2020, or just actually it's 2021 downsizing has started. But also a few things that are quite different than that one. So like for this center part, which as you see just has a few wedge plates around, and then also these large jagged slopes going like forwards to that. But also you have some like olive pieces there, which on the original version they were in, it was a lime green with sticker on it, and also notice the cockpit piece, which is in trans yellow, which on the original version it wasn't like that at all, but on this version is in trans yellow, obviously more accurate to how it is in the show. So obviously glad to see that go on here. And obviously can like lift this right upwards, and then access to the main cockpit kind of area, which little seat in there, and then also you have a little rounded tile with a sticker on it, and of course 4 little studs in there to sit it in like so. A little hard to get in. Alright, got him in, and there. And as for these lower engine wing parts, is like large cones in these little Technic pieces with large dishes on, or plate, or rounded plates on them, and also with stickers on them. So there's quite a few stickers in this set. Then on the backside, which is one of the like rounded cylinder pieces, like we saw on the 2021 X-wing, and then also a couple of rods holding the, or axle rods holding the like barrel pieces and cylinders to be the engine parts with trans blue at the end, or trans blue pieces at the end. Quite very nice then. And also on this rest of it is to have some like some more wedge plates around it, and then some in a unique kind of shaping to it. And of course, like this to make the back fin part go right upwards to it, and then also on the back side of it, you can see a little bit of olive green on there, which, unlike how on the original 2008 version, did have some sand green onto there, but which in universe is also sand green for that. Although I think sand green could have been a little better for that, but although I think olive green almost is fair. Then as for the wings here, which was unlike the original version, which were like 1 plate thick, but these of which are 2 plates thick. And also some nice texturing with some plates and corner tile pieces on here, and then also this 1x3 tile with sticker on there, and then on the ends of it are these little unique builds with the jagged slope like pieces holding some like little bar pieces to be little turrets in there, and also on the sides are stud shooters which you can push off and launch like so. And then also downfall of this is asymmetry. Like this wing nothing, and but the other one does have the Republic symbol, also like the original version did, but wish they could have done so on both wings. And then as for this back wing part, which does have this little kind of same texturing to it, and then also this, and also a single stud, also like another booster. And then also notice that on the bottom end of it does have a couple this bar piece and connected with these beams here, and which is going to connect to the couple of clips on there. So obviously it's two clips stacked together to be an extra grip for it. Same within this upper part. And now as for the liftoff kind of process of it is also like the original version, but have to do it all manually. Like these wings can like turn right down, and they're on ball socket joint pieces, just about like the 2016 Krennic shuttle of Rogue One did. Same with that, and then the back wing part can unclip from the two clips in there, and then clip to the ones below. And there. Now it's in its flight mode, and obviously, and if you're like displaying it like that, it would just lean to one side of it, unless if you build some custom or build your own little stand out of it with very few pieces. Because even though the 2006 B-Wing kind of did that. And then as for folding back up, is to like take that and then clip to the back part again, and then fold the wings back up, of course. And it's now for a little comparison with this and the original 2008 version. Ooh. Which, as you can see, like quite downsized a bit, and also a little more compact than this one. And also they did have different price points. Like this in 2008 was about $55, and this now is $65. So kind of a major difference between the two, and also some of the features are a little different on both of them. Like this one had the cockpit section that opens up like that, but this one you just open it straight upwards for that. And also there was olive green on there, but this one lime green, but it's on a sticker that would eventually peel off and chip, which happened on a lot of copies of it. And also the turbines are a little different, where one's a sticker, one's an actual piece for that. And if notice on the 2008 version, it's all that a lot of it's kind of barren and a few Technic pistons on there, but on this version, all just just smooth curved slopes and have ball socket joints for the wings. So at least kind of a little bit of a downgrade, but actually kind of a good downgrade. And also, hang on. And of course, the wings and engines all quite similar to each other, but just in different ways for that. And if you notice, this original had lime green, or just sand green, just two pieces that sand green. But this new version had replaced that with olive green, and it's around like 4 pieces to that. So, although I think they could have stuck with sand green for that, but whatever. And also, little odd thing is with this version, did come with this extra Technic bar piece with pins in them, mainly to help it work better during the build process. But this new one didn't have that at all. So nice to see that. So at least good for that. And also that the one which had landing gear, but this newer version just doesn't at all. So although you could add your own landing gear onto it if you wanted. And also kind of noticed that it did have the quick-fire missiles, which was the main projectile for the time, but and this one did have stud shooters on top of it, so and of course better improvement over them, and how the wing takeoff features of which on both of them are sort of the same, but yet a little different. Obviously, you kind of go like that, but unlike how on this version, you just have to turn a piece behind there and then let it all drop down automatically, of course. So obviously, it's all like pick it up at once and just about two things to do the process, and this one only about three things to do for the process. So, well, obviously, but at least this was a little more quicker than this old version. But yeah. So for my overall verdict, I think this was a just great set for how it is. Like, obviously, great to have a V-19 Torrent return again, and also great to have new versions of both Asajj Ventress and Obi-Wan, of course. And also nice to have a new helmet piece for the clone pilot as well. And obviously, although the sizing may be a little off from like the original 2008 version as you saw it, and but at least this Switch does have is kind of welcomed with all the newer Lego standards, and also and obviously the takeoff process a little bit quicker than that original version. But yeah, so in such ways, I think this Switch quite a few good improvements over that original 2008 version. Yeah, and of course a quite similar price point for that, like the original $55 in 2008, but this version about $65. I say almost as good for how it is. Although I think 60 or again 55 would have been as fair for the price, but whatever. But of course, it's newer standards for that. And also good that there's a yellow cockpit piece or canopy piece, which also more accurate to the Clone Wars show, and also well good for mocking as well. But yeah, and what else to say? Not much, but yeah. And it also and and also the and also does have some good swooshability to it as well. And also, as for the saying, when there's smoke, there's fire, and of course, the original version, 2008 version, did have alongside it the Magna Guard Starfighter from the time. Hopefully, since there's this new version, this new V-19 Torrent, maybe there will be a new version of the Magna Guard Starfighter coming down the pipeline. Well, just a thought, but yeah. And now, if you completely missed out on the original 2008 version, and or maybe just don't care much for it, for the single minifig in it, then well, definitely pick this up. And if you're looking to get this set for your Star Wars collection or Star Wars Clone Wars collection, then definitely pick this up. And that's it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.